Hello everybody, this is Justin here with LED Sign Company, and in this tutorial we are going to go over how we can do our very first presentation on our signs through the Eyetv software that we've got right here. So before starting off, I just want to say if you don't have the software yet, I covered how to download it in the last tutorial, so you can go get that. It's pretty easy. And once again, this is not a graphic design software. If you want to make graphics or movies, you're better off actually getting a different software for that. This is just a software to export our materials and our commands to the sign. I'm going to go through how to do that today. So today we're going to go over how to make simple text commands, how to upload images to your sign, and how to change the time. Alright, so here are the three things that you need to do every time you open up the software on a new computer, or if this is your first time opening up the software. You're going to need to do these three things. Now, if you actually are opening the software for a second time, or if you've used it before, it will automatically use the settings that you've applied initially. But I'm just going to assume that this is our first time ever seeing this window. So the very first thing that I want you to do, and keep in mind you need to do this always when you are installing this on a new computer and opening it for the first time. We need to set exactly what size of sign we're working with on the software. So when we export our information, it is, well, relevant to the sign that we're actually sending it to. So I want you to first off go to Set, and I want you to go to Screen Size. And this window should pop up, and it will display width and height. And now this is not in feet, this is in LED modules, and we should have provided you with the information about the size of sign that we were selling you in the in terms of LED modules. So I'm going to set this sign to 4x6 right here, and I just want you to take note of the fact that this is 4 modules high by 6 modules wide. Once again, if you do not have this information, it should be on the quote that we sent you, along with the contract, or you know, just contact us. We should know what size of sign we sold you. Once we have that, I want you to take note of this number off here to the right. This is the pixel dimensions of your sign, or in physical terms, those are LED light clusters. So your sign, if you have a 6x4, should be about 96 clusters wide across by 64 tall, I suppose is the word for that. And once you've got that size set to your correct size of sign, I want you to just hit OK, and this window down here should automatically adjust. Now this black window right here, this is your preview pane, and as you can see, this is probably much too small for you to accurately preview things. So the second thing that I would like you to do is go to the Set tool and go to Simulation Window right here and click it and make the window size a little bit bigger. 2 is probably sufficient for me. And just click OK, and see, this will become a tad bit larger. So let's just drag this off over here so it's out of the way. And the third thing that you always need to do when actually opening the software for the first time is to designate what type of sign we're actually working with. So you need to go to Image Type. We've got the size. Now we need to actually designate what type of sign this is. And you have a few options here. And as you can see, RGY would stand for red, green, yellow. This is red, green, blue. And here's the full color option. And most of our clients have full color signs, so I'm going to select the full color option. And just click OK, and those are the three things that you need to do every single time that you open up the Eyetv software on a new computer. Next, let's look at these text tools up here. Okay, so the very first thing I'm sure everybody wants me to cover is how to get text on your sign. And it's pretty simple. I just want you to hit this text button right here, and it will bring up a text editing window. Now this should all look pretty straightforward. This stuff off here to the right is just the line spacing tools. You've got your font size, font color. So let's just type something. Let's just type an example text. And I want you to hit this preview button, and this preview button gives you a preview of how this might look on your sign. That's why it's important that we go in there and we determine the correct size to begin with, because we won't even know if our text fits if we don't do that initially. So yeah, that checks out, that looks fine. Let's say we want it a little bit bigger. You can go and increase the font size. I assume that's all pretty straightforward. If you're familiar with email or Microsoft Word, I mean, really all of this should be pretty easy and pretty intuitive. So when you have got roughly what you want, I just want you to click OK, and then notice it's going to appear on your timeline right here, or not your timeline, it's called the preview, or something like that. And most people, when they put this on, they think, alright, like that should be enough. That will export to my sign. It should display that text. Actually, you have to do two more things. With every text command, you need an action command following it, and then a wait time. So I'm going to pull up a little example here just to really illustrate what I'm looking for. A complete text command to be sent to a sign needs to have all of these three things in this exact order. It needs to have your text item up at the top, and then you need to add in your wait time, or your action, and then you need to add in your wait time. So next off, let's look at our actions right here. As you can see off to the right side, we've got our action groups, which are just different groups of the actual action items. And as I said in the last tutorial, the actions are really just animations. You know, as you can see down there in the preview, they're just fun things to grab your viewer's attention. But say you don't want fun things to grab your viewer's attention, you just want the text or the image to just display on the screen. Well, action group item number 1, or action group 1 move item number 1, no action, is what we are looking for if you just want your text or image to just appear on the screen. So this will be by far the action item that you use more than any of the others, or at least you should be, because you don't want to be overly distracting to your viewers. Just double click that and that will appear on the timeline, and as you can see, we've got two parts of our text command right here. The third thing that we need to do is we need to go up here to the wait time button and click it, and it's just going to bring up a pretty simple screen. Let's go select seconds. You got seconds, milliseconds, and minutes. 4 seconds is a pretty average wait time if the traffic outside your sign is anywhere from 30 to 40 miles an hour. I mean, even less, it's fine. So just click OK, and right now we have ourselves a complete text command. Okay, next off, let's look at getting some images up on our sign. So I've already covered how you can get text on your sign, and images are basically going to work exactly as text does. To actually insert an image, what you need to do is you need to go to insert file image, and just select whatever image is going to fit your sign. And I'm going to go over how to make good looking images to fit your sign ahead of time, and just click it. It will appear in your scenario, and just like the text, images also need an action and a wait time following them to make a complete command. So we need to designate exactly what image we want up there, how that image should appear, and how many seconds that should stay up on the screen. So what I'm going to put up here, and I'll put a different animation up. I'll put the spray, and I'll put a wait time of 2 seconds, and just click OK, and our image should now appear on the sign and sit there for 2 seconds after appearing using the spray action. And let's also cover the time tool while we are at it. The time tool is a very simple tool. Just click the time button, and a window will pop up that gives you a variety of different time options. You've got the actual format that your time can display in, including dates, not just actually the time of day. It can display the day of the year. And you have the amount of time that this will display up on the screen, the size, and the display color. I find that red and yellow work the best during the day in terms of visibility. So click OK, and the time tool will appear in your scenario. And the time tool is an exception to that action and wait time rule. Remember that only the complete text, action, wait, or image action wait, that only applies to text and images. And whenever we're actually working with wait time, this isn't all built into one sort of function. So let's hit play and let's see what we got. We've got an image that sprays in, and then it flips to the time, then it sprays into the image, and it goes back and forth. I just want to also mention how the time actually works on your sign, because some people are worried, what if my sign is, off? How does the sign keep track of the time? Well, the sign has a clock built inside of it, a computer clock. And whenever you actually update your sign, whenever you upload information, the time will automatically reset. So assuming that the computer that you're uploading from has the correct time displayed, your sign should also display the correct time. Also, on a side note, if you want to put in the time and the date, always put in the time first and then put in the date. So we'll go down here and we'll use this format, and this is what you're going to kind of get. And I don't know why this is the way that it is, but the manual says to do it this way, so I have always done it this way. So your sign should always be displaying the correct time of day, basically, and it can display the date as well. And you can put this as frequently as you want in your presentations. If for some reason the time on your sign is off, you can update it by going to Board and Transmit and Time Update. You can do so whenever your sign is actually connected to your computer, of course. And I'll go over that later, but time is not an issue with these signs whatsoever.